Hello, hello. How are you? This is Danny, and I'm here with my follow-up from the last video where I announced that I'm diagnosed bipolar and I'm an evidential psychic medium and I have ADHD. So, of all of that, let's get in there for a second. So, I do know that I'm ADHD, right? I've gone through all that. I get it. It makes sense, fits, whatever you want to call it. And I have studied and I have gone through all of my training for my evidential mediumship certification. Graduated, been practicing 20 plus years professionally. And then there is that big elephant in the room. What do you mean you're bipolar? Are you okay? Uh, that one. So the reason I said this, is I really wanted to be candid about it, to be honest with you. I I've always been psychic, always been intuitive, and I never thought it was actually a thing. I swear I thought that I was just like everyone else. And I grew up in an area where we didn't talk about anything woo-woo. Certainly not. And so I don't know. I think that whenever I said something weird, I was a bit of a black sheep, and it everyone pretty much just nodded their head like, okay, okay, yeah. And I said, do you understand that? Do you see that? Does that make sense to you? And I didn't know that throughout my life, people were just agreeing with me. Like they were not actually listening. They really didn't care. They could care less. So I just said, okay. I said, did you see that? Look over there. And they're, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, oh, okay. So it wasn't until I started seeing things more often, clearer, and feeling this caring and like obligation to say, hey, you know what? I seen that this is going to happen, down the road. What are you going to do about it? And, like an adult will say to me, what did you just say to me? And so it was, it became a red flag. Like, is she feeling okay? What's going on with her? And then it would be messages from loved ones, right? Hey, yeah, your aunt, uncle over there, they really liked that too. Yeah. And these conversations were so fluid that with me and the other side, that they were talking. I didn't think anything of it. And I was like, oh, yeah, they loved that to the person in the physical. And I ended up realizing real quick that that person was freaked out. I was scaring them. So, being an empath, right? I'm feeling that I just upset them. I worried them. Oh my God, are they okay? Are you okay? And then I felt them not wanting to be around me. Like, let me get away from her right now. Maybe thinking of like in the old mindset of is she, I don't know, which I don't know, I don't know the right word for it, but spooked to say the least. And they were definitely afraid of me. And feeling that, I felt that that was my earlier resistance to, okay, don't talk about things, just like just they don't want to talk about this. But I'm still living with people that are, or amongst people that are, yes, 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 it's okay. Yes, I see this. Yes, I get that. So really, it. had gotten to the point where I had bottled so much in that I started being drained in school. I was distracted, zoned out, and not really zoned out, I would say zoned in, right? And I felt bad about upsetting people or not forewarning them, and then seeing these situations happen and feeling bad about that. And I did develop depression. So, what a hot mess. What a hot mess. My everyday recess, being young on recess, didn't look anything like what everyone else was doing. I was looking at the colors, I was looking at the auras, I was seeing everyone's energy. I was listening to 1,000 conversations when there were only 20 people there because I could hear them. I could telepathically hear them communicate. I could feel that someone hates so and so and they're standing there smiling at them. Like, and I'm confused. And like, what is going on here? So as I started to share things like this, it wasn't very long before I ended up in therapy, and I would talk to them about it, and it was pretty quick. This is a long story short. It was pretty quick that I went from a simple counseling to a doctor, and mind you, this is like 80s. Okay, so over to a doctor, the doctor says, okay, you have trouble concentrating. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, there's so much going on. I'm seeing all these things. What are you seeing? Oh, well, this, and this, and this. Are you hearing things? And I said, of course. Am I hearing things? Yes. Do you hear voices? Yes, I do. I do. And are these voices telling you things? Hmm. I'm like, oh, thank God. Yes. Yes, they are. And it was like, okay. I'm thinking, well, why are you mad at me? Like, you were just my friend. You were just really kind to me. Like, it's okay. You can talk to me. And I felt like, oh, good. And then it was this switch of, mm-mm. So the whispers, behind the closed door. Oh God, yeah, she's got a problem. It's a big problem. Let's see. Let's look further into this. And that slowly went into, okay, we're going to give you techniques to block that out. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I am upsetting people. So, and it was, okay, listen, I said, well, yeah, but I really just, it's important. I want to make sure they're okay. And then it was basically said to me very quickly, you think that you're hearing this. You believe that this is real. And I didn't know what to say. I'm only little, right? So I'm thinking, well, yeah, but I mean, it's proven. It's like, I didn't say proven because I wouldn't have used that, but I would say, yeah, but it is right there. Like it really did. And they would say, no, stop. Shh. It's not real. That's the way that you're seeing it. And I'm thinking, holy shit. And I mean, this is young too. Yeah. So maybe not that word, but I was thinking, oh my God, I like, and yes, you're sick. You have a mental illness. This is not good. And we're gonna take care of you and we're gonna make you better. There is hope and you will be okay. And I'm thinking, there's hope? Oh my God. Like, what? What? What are you talking about? Oh my God. So it just turned into I'm broken. Back then there wasn't computers. Even this kind of information was not in like the library, or I barely knew the terminology to even look up any of this stuff. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't know a single person that thought outside the box in any way, shape, or form. So I thought, okay. shit, I better be quiet. Oh my God. And last thing I'd ever want to do is hurt anyone. So I continued to spend my time with pets, animals, just like relating, being quiet, becoming an introvert, just and so therapy sessions, medications, blah blah blah, whatever. And there was multiple diagnosis, mind you, throughout this, throughout school period. And it was blah blah blah. Okay, I'm doing good for a little bit because I'm like my energy's up and I'm thinking just ignore, don't participate, just go with the flow. This is what they want you to do. Like it would be like stick with the program. Those were the words back then, right? Stick with the program, get with the program, right? So I would do all this and I did okay for a little bit. I did do okay for a little bit, but then I started experiencing stronger gifts or stronger senses. Like extrasensory perception, you got intuition, you got everything, right? So I started experiencing that and it was overwhelming. So something just very profound was that gut instinct as a older teenager. I'm in the car with someone, something's going on and it's a gut stab, like, no, this is no, this is a no. And the vision, and I suppressed this so much that I ended up getting to a point where I started um I started having like a premonition, a deja vu kind of a thing. I had nosebleeds. I mean, there's a lot in there, but we're not talking about that, but later. But I I would have this like deja vu it and then I would faint. And okay, so now I go to the medical doctor and they say, well, oh, no, you have seizures. You have these like pseudo seizure things, something. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I seen a movie, I seen something. And then that thing would happen. I feel gross thinking about it, but then that thing would happen. And that was weird. So let's just increase the medicine, increase that medicine. Let's slightly change the diagnosis. Let's do that. And thankfully, I had my very first break, right? I ended up going to a college program, and this university studied psychology, philosophy, everything there. But I was doing the program I was in. And so I got to meet a whole slew of college students that were, hey, let's think this and let's talk about this. And we're reading this book. And I was so curious. I am like a suction cup for knowledge, right? So I was so curious, like, what are we talking about? What are we finally, my first time. And this theory, that theory, this and that, going back into scientists and just all this like theology and stuff. And as soon as I got in there, and I started talking very, very minimally, a little bit more. These, everything started making sense to, not everything, something started making sense to me. And it was, oh, that's so and so, that's extrasensory perception. That's this, that's that. This person studied this and or wrote a book on this in this year or whatever. These are scholars, So when that happened, that was a life-changing, shocking, bittersweet moment for me. And that put me on a totally new trajectory to think, okay, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know, but apparently they do. Apparently something's been wrong for a very long time. Who am I? What's going on? What the heck do I do? Well, for one thing, I'm never going back. I knew that that was my thought. That was you sure as hell are never going back. Like move out of the area, honestly. Like I really did. Like I just like moved out of the area. It was just like no. And that was one of the first areas of significant change in my life that put me on this course of wow. Like fact is stranger than fiction, basically. And that's where I got the your bipolar. Your, do you hear those voices? Yeah, really. Do you want to hurt anyone? I'm like, No, not really. You want to hurt those things. And then it was, well, how many voices do you hear? Let's just go back for 1 second, right? How many voices do you hear? And I'm like, I don't, you want me to listen? Yeah, let's listen. I'm like, well, okay, I think there's like one there. I think there's like one over there. And then it was, oh, let's talk about multiple personality disorder, dissociative identity disorder. I said, well, what is this? And I'm like, well, I know my name. Uh, I mean, I did like, I'm a little confused. I don't know. I looked that up, DID, and when I read multiple personality disorder, I have to tell you, I'm not going to laugh because that's really rude, but for me, that was that was probably the like total draw the line moment of like, no, it's okay. I don't get it, but no, definitely no. So going forward, obviously, I've invested decades in learning about mental health, sorting through what does pertain to me, honestly, what pertains to me, and what doesn't pertain to me. And then there's that gray area of, well, now I meet the spiritual community, and you know what? They're like, what's your spirit name? I get together with like the coolest spiritual community, world renowned, awesome. And they're like, everyone has their soul name, their spiritual name. And I'm thinking, I mean, I have one, I don't know. They're like, no, tap into your higher self. Like, what's your soul's name? Your true name. And I'm like, no, okay. Trigger. You want me to have two? So, okay. I know. I had to just 1 second. I know I do. Okay, ADHD, fine, whatever. That's a different thing. Yes, I jump all around. So I just wanted to share some of that with you because I know I put this out and what what is this? So yes, it all is, and yes, it's not. It's I'd love to hear your input. And don't be mean. Like don't. I don't need that. But so I'm just sharing. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And I'm definitely going to be back in a little bit. I'm going to get a glass of water and just decompress. So, sending you so much love. And I have so much to share with you. Thank you. If you made it this far, I'm not sure how long we are, but if you made it this far, thank you. And just thank you for your interest. And I'm rooting for you, whether you have bipolar or borderline disorder, borderline personality. It doesn't matter whatever these labels are. If you have symptoms that are distressing, that are challenging, I'm right here with you. Doesn't matter what you call them, like I live with tons of symptoms. So what box do they fit in? I don't know. I like to just think of them more as this is life and how do you feel? So till then, okay. Thank you. I don't even know if this is going to make it. I might even delete it. I'm not sure, but my heart's here. So hopefully this does reach you. See you later.